Holy shit, it's Colonial Puppet, and this is another episode of the Let's Build a Stadium series. I'm jumping right into this. Obviously, I haven't made one of these in a very long time, for a multitude of reasons that I'm not going to try and go into, because I feel like it's all I do at this point is I say I'm going to make a lot of videos, get sidetracked, and then end up just apologizing in every video I make, or I end up making. But anyway, we're right where we left off. Though I've had to do quite a bit of rebuilding, that is. For those of you who don't know, I made a couple posts about it on the new function on YouTube, the community tab, where I can post pictures, polls, and just random text posts, saying that my computer, I had to send it in for repairs, which was very much true. Unfortunately, the issue that started cropping up on this very Let's Build series, I was complaining about, or I was commenting on these weird artifacts that started displaying on the video when I was playing on the screen itself. But then when I later watched the video, I saw that the artifacts on the screen and like the pixelation was actually showing up within the video as well as just on my screen. That started getting a lot worse. It would work for it wouldn't the issue wouldn't come up for some games, but for other games such as Just Cause 3 and I believe Grand Theft Auto, I kept getting this very very intrusive just kind of glitch where it'd be like random artifacts kind of flashing on the screen. Very distracting, and it gradually got worse and worse. I also noticed that if I plugged an external screen into my computer, the pixelation would get a lot worse, or the screen would barely be usable. There'd be a lot of lag, and the random artifacts and pixelation would start showing up on that secondary screen. So yeah, I had to send my computer in to Dell in Houston, Texas. I first tried calling them on the phone. They took remote control of the laptop, updated drivers, updated the BIOS, they did a bunch of firmware updates, everything they could do on the software end to try and fix this problem, but everything they did was futile, I guess, and I ended up having to ship the laptop to Houston, Texas, to one of Dell's repair centers. At first they couldn't replicate the issue, so I had to write them a couple emails telling them what to do to get it to display. They found the issue, had to do some hardware repairs, but ultimately they were able to send it back to me, and it works fine now. Unfortunately, before I shipped it out, I tried one last ditch attempt to fix it if it was a hardware problem, which was to do a factory reset on the boot disk. I have this laptop has two hard drives, a data hard drive where I save everything, including the YouTube stuff. Like this video I'm recording right at this moment is being saved to my data drive. It's just like a terabyte SSD, but it also has a 500 NVMe M.2 drive for the boot disk, which is where Windows is installed and all my programs, including Minecraft. So without thinking, I was like, you know what, before I send it in, I want to make sure that it's actually a hardware problem. So I performed a reset, not thinking straight, and not remembering that my Minecraft saves were not backed up too recently. So basically the last 3 episodes of this Let's Build, all that work I lost. So after waiting about 2 weeks to get my laptop back, I had to spend another week or so rebuilding what had been lost of this stadium. And honestly, that's where I have been, kind of building up the strength to tackle this Let's Build again. Or not strength, I guess. It just sucks a lot out of you when you spend a lot of time building something and it just gets deleted. You kind of really, you lose, I guess you lose, you hit a brick wall and you lose momentum, I guess. But anyway, back to this. Had to reinstall a lot of stuff on my games. Fraps, which is what I use to record. Audacity, which is what I use to record audio. And right now I'm starting to get glitches. Starting to get screen tearing, but I think that's because I didn't turn off. This is the similar issue I got when I didn't turn off, what was it? Game mode for Windows 10. There's like game modes that are built into Windows 10 now that are very annoying. They negatively affect performance, game performance, that is. And yeah, but anyway, that's why it's been a while. I've also been working non-stop, kind of getting sidetracked with other projects. I'm working on a second music project with my band. I've been working on getting that completed, writing and recording and mixing and mastering a second album, which is something that you can look out for. I will be definitely posting the album in its entirety on this channel right here, like I did for the last one. And yeah, that's basically what I've been doing for the past 2 months. I'm not enjoying this screen tearing that I'm seeing. This is another thing. It's like this is the ultimate test. After sending my laptop back in for repairs, let's see if the repairs were actually permanent, or if I'm gonna have to send it in again, or if there's a whole new set of issues with this laptop. And to be completely honest, I haven't tested Just Cause 3 yet, so I might fire that game up after this to see if the repairs were actually successful. But anyway, what am I doing? I haven't talked about this build at all. Basically, I'm matching this window up with the top of this hallway. I'm on the long end of the field, for those of you who don't know. Probably could deduce that, though, based on how many stairwells there are and just how long this side is. Right now I'm just building the first 3 big kind of sections of windows, and that's all I'm going to be building. So just from there to there, I'm not building any more windows, and that's because it's for a reason. I'm actually going to start changing things up. Alright, so we got that, but still building the windows the same way. Had to reinstall a lot of mods. For example, the World Edit mod, MC Edit. Had to reinstall all that stuff. It's kind of draining getting a computer back to its original state before it broke. When you do a factory reset, you have to reinstall a lot of stuff. You start to like notice everything that you missed and like all the stuff that you're gonna have to redo, or if you lost anything. So let's do this. Let's see if I remember. T set 9515. Awesome. Oh, fuck. There we go. Yep, and work's been busy. Celebrated my 3-year anniversary with my girlfriend, which was fun. Went to a nice sushi restaurant. Had some delicious lobster tempura, cooked sushi, Very delicious. I'm a big fan. I used to be afraid of Asian food. When I was younger, I was very hesitant to try any new food, which is very much not the case now. I'll basically eat anything. Still kind of a weird thing with soups, though. I'm not a big soup person, but yeah, I tend to like my foods dry. But when it comes to Asian food, I absolutely love even soups, like udon, things like that. Ramen, sushi. What else? I don't know. Basically anything. Lo mein's really good. I love lo mein. But yeah, been digging that. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of things to talk about. It's been a while since I've made one of these. It's been almost 2 months. I apologize for that. Although I feel like I've been apologizing a lot. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to be right here and then build out like this. And I guess it's good I started on the long end of the field because we're also going to be dealing with the short end of the field as well. So basically, alright, so it's going to be like that. Cool. And alright. Now I'm trying to think of my game plan right now. I think I'm just going to quick switch to the short end of the field, and you'll see why. Next thing I have to do is, yeah, so match this up like so. And then build down. That. Is that right? Yep. Get rid of this. So these middle windows are going to come down lower than any other windows. If that makes sense. Which it probably doesn't, but you'll see in a second. Alright, like that. And then, oops, I don't want to do that just yet. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and finish these windows before I connect anything to that. So I'm just going to build this across. So we're really kind of just working on, not really working on either the long end or the short end. We're working on both at the same time. And I mean, if you haven't noticed, we're getting pretty close to the bottom of the field, which is nice. We're getting there. It's kind of interesting building from the top down. I don't think I've ever done that with any other building, though it makes sense with stadiums, just because of how big they are, or just how kind of weird they are. Starting, I mean, it's like you're building a giant bowl, a Super Bowl, if you will, and you know, you want to start with like the field, obviously, then build around that, which when you're building around that, you're going to start with the bleachers, And then once the bleachers are built, you're going to want to build the kind of stuff around it. But yeah, anyway. I've also been playing a lot of Town of Salem. I've been playing 2 games. It's like, that's another thing. I've been very busy, and so when I finally get to play video games, I mostly just kind of want to relax and not worry about, okay, am I how's my mic levels, gotta open all these programs and make sure everything's in sync and everything's recording and nothing's messed up and my mic input's not funky or anything like that. Gotta build some huge stadium and keep it within a certain time frame, all that stuff. It's kind of not stressful, it's kind of tedious, I guess. I enjoy doing it, but there at this point it's like man, it's like when I come home from work or like anything, I just kind of want to plop down, start up a game and just kind of play it and enjoy it. I've been playing a lot of Town of Salem, which I've talked about before. That's been my go-to game. I've been, for those of you who are friends with me on Xbox, you've probably seen I'm online. I don't have Xbox Live Gold anymore. I don't have an Xbox One. It's kind of sad seeing everyone I used to play with back in the 360 days, all their avatars are asleep, or when they are awake, it just says they're playing Xbox One. Xbox 360 is getting pretty lonely, but I've rediscovered Resident Evil 4, which was one of the first games I beat on my own. For the GameCube I had it, but now there's the HD 60 frames per second release of it on the PlayStation and the Xbox. Although I don't think I have the 60 FPS version on the Xbox 360. I think that might just be for the Xbox One, but I could be wrong. But anyway, yeah, I've been playing that. I beat it. Now I'm trying to beat it again to unlock some things. Do the bonus content. Like Ada has a whole kind of campaign you can play through. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Ada is a character. But yeah, it's a fun game. There's like a mercenaries mode, though I remember hating that on the GameCube. It's funny how much I've improved just as like a playing games. I remember back in the day I was awful, and I honestly don't know how I was able to beat that game. Because now everything kind of comes easy. I feel like I've gotten a lot better at just games in general as time goes on. And now it's not as much of a challenge to beat that game. So I definitely want to revisit Mercenaries, because I remember not being able to unlock anything on that mode back when I played it on the GameCube. But I feel like now that I'm more competent, I could definitely play Mercenary and get all the sweet unlocks, yo. Alright, so we did that, built that. Now we're going to connect that to this, but I have to first remember where I kind of built this off of. Is it the second one? Okay. I see. But yeah, any hoot. That's what I've been doing. Town of Salem and Resident Evil. I definitely want to do a playthrough of Resident Evil for Halloween on this channel. Kind of just do a playthrough series of it. It's a fun game to watch. I've been watching a lot of people speedrun it, which is absolutely ridiculous because it's very stiff game. It's a third-person shooting game, and you can't walk and shoot at the same time. That basically sums up the mechanics of Resident Evil 4. Very slow turning, stuff like that. It's a very difficult game to control, I guess. So we got that. Next, what we're gonna do is fill this in with light gray concrete. So I think I'll go to here, go, bam, and then set 251.18, I think. Oh no, I think it's set 251.8. Excuse me. Set 251. There it goes. Interesting. Oh fuck. Let's just do set 0. Set air there instead of that. So I'll do this. Do this. Set 251.8. Fuck. Wait, why does it keep doing that? Okay. Alright. So I've noticed an issue. You probably have as well. I have to build this down 1 block. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I didn't do that earlier. So I'm just gonna start here and build down 1. Shouldn't take too long. I'm definitely never gonna do a speed run of that game. I can't say that definitively, but I don't. It would definitely be fun, but I would never be able to speedrun Resident Evil 4. There's like some tricks I saw on the speedruns that I definitely use, but I don't know, just playing the game is pretty fun. Like playing the game in its entirety, like as it's meant to be played, is takes like probably like 5 or 6 hours, maybe even more, probably more, maybe 9, 10 hours. Some people beat it in like, I think the one I watched was like I think it was 1 hour and 30 minutes, something ridiculous like that. So yeah, people have gotten really good at the game. I have to type this in again because I think the last one I entered was air. Yeah. Alright, so now we don't have to worry about that anymore. Now I can just do the up arrow. Makes it go a lot quicker. Thanks to whoever showed me that in the comments. It's been a lifesaver in terms of time. Alright. In terms of saving time. Yeah. I know I started the Among the Sleep, but that's the thing. It's like when I sent my computer in, I lost game saves, all that stuff, so I might just have to restart that Let's Build, or that Let's Play. Very bad at not losing data. I always accidentally delete it or have it like get lost. I'm trying to curb that though by not using mechanical disks anymore. Any new computer I get, it needs to have an SSD because they're just better in general. Like other than cost, it's like it's a no-brainer. They don't make noise, they don't take up as much energy, they don't have moving parts, so they don't get slower over time or break. I mean, they break eventually, but not. They are a lot more. They'll last a lot longer than a mechanical drive. Mechanical drives will get slower over time. The grease in the ball bearings will harden. The little optical thing will, the components will break. Discs can scratch if like the little optical thing will touch like one of the platters. They're not the best in terms of data preservation. Alright, so we got that. Just gonna look pretty cool if you ask me. Kind of looks interesting. Looks like a weird optical illusion. But yeah, anyway. Well, I'm gonna do that on each 4 corner. We basically just built 1 corner, so I'm just gonna do this on the other 3 sides. So I'll build that out over there. We'll build the short end of the field and the other long end of the field. So basically that's just all the way around. So I will see you when I'm done that. Alright, I'm back and I built all 4 corners with like, you know, these corners right here. Built down on all 4 sides, the middle 3 window kind of sections. Right now I'm just kind of going around and making sure everything. Oh, my splash potion of night vision is wearing off. I have to redo that. What to do now? Because it's already getting pretty long of an episode. This is going to be brick. And so now I kind of want to figure out how to do. I'll probably just do 1 corner. Let's do something like this. I like that. Now I'm just going to figure out how to space it out. Oops. It's going to have very narrow windows. Alright. So that is how that's going to be. Window wise. Did I make this too? I did. And let's see how that's going to look here. Cool. Alright. So that's how we're going to space those out. Now I have to find the ID of brick. Forget how to do that, so I'm going to look that up. Alright, so 43.4 is the ID you're looking for. So T set 43.4. Alright, cool. Alright, so set this. Although I don't really need to know it for these 2-block wide ones. These are just easier to build the way they are. What would be easier to do though would be to do this. All the way to the end. Like so. Alright. Build this all the way up. These are going to be windows. The little 1-block slots in between these brick pillars are going to be filled in with window panes, just to kind of give it more depth. But yeah, I thought this would look pretty cool. Very kind of, I don't know, I always associate brick with like stadiums. I think like a lot of baseball stadiums are built with brick, although this is a football stadium, so I don't know if it's going to be as appropriate, but I think it'll go good with the white concrete we've used. The white and red concrete. I mean, the red looks good, so I'm guessing red bricks would look just as good. But who knows? Alright. My dog's barking. Alright. Go. Almost done. And then basically I'm going to do the same thing on the long side that I'm doing right now. I'll like fully build this shorter side, and then we already spaced out how these are going to be the long side. So I'll like cut that, obviously. Alright, something like that. Yeah, something like that. God, they're being really loud upstairs. Sorry if my mic's picking that up. Gonna fill this in with one of these. And bring this down like so. This wore off again. And then I'm gonna do this. that makes sense. So that looks kind of cool. Then I'm going to get brick stairs. Put them here. Build them across the top like this. Then I'm going to put light gray concrete. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to put cayenne terracotta. It's a bit darker. Kind of want a darker color on the back. Something like that. So I hope this is starting to make sense. Next, what I'm gonna do is get black pane and build it up like so. So that looks cool. Do it all the way down here. Not a fan of building with glass panes though. They're a pain. Pain in the ass to build with. They're very kind of sensitive. And like when you build them on top of each other, it's kind of hard to break them. Their hitbox is also smaller, so it's easier to break things around them when you're trying to break the glass pane. Kind of tedious to work with, but you know, it's whatever. Alright, so after this, this is going slow, but I haven't done it before and I can't really fill in, I can't really use the world edit to fill these because it's only one block wide. Plus I'd have to build one on top, build one at the bottom, select both, and then do the command so it'll be as long as just building them, if not a little longer to do it that way. Alright, so we got that. So next I'm going to build the same thing, just like this, only all the way down on this side. We already got the windows spaced out, so I'll do like I did, build down, connect them with the cayenne, put in the windows, put the block of brick, and the brick stairs all the way down. You get the idea. So I'll do that and then cut back to when I'm done doing it on that side as well as all the other sides, because it's going to be the same thing for every corner. So I will see you when I'm done that. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see I said what I was going to do, finish the long end of the field with this brick that we've made, as well as the four corners. So the last thing I'm going to do this episode is going to be pretty easy. I'm going to we'll first turn on my HUD. I'm going to go and fill in everything. So set 251.8. Starting with here. So I gotta fill in all these guys. It should be fun. This is gonna be a lot easier though, since it's like more square. We're not dealing with those weird curves anymore. Let's fill this in, so that's kind of weird looking. Oh wait, no, we're not gonna fill that in. 1 second. Actually, we are gonna fill these in. So do you know what I can do? I could do this. I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place. Boom. And then fill all that in. Now I just have to fill this in. Oops. Let me just put get some more night vision. And yeah, this is the boring part of the episode. As if the other parts weren't boring. But, yep, gonna be filling in a lot of space. So next we got to fill in this big area. Which I could probably just fill in like this. Yeah. Then fill this in like so. Cool. And then basically fill all this in. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. All the way to the end. Glad I did that right. Alright, now I'm going to fill this in. Just like that. And then all this. I'll do a long end and a short end, then cut back to when I'm done. And all that gets filled in. And I have to fill all this in by hand. Not all of it, but might as well. Do that part and then fill that in like that. Fill that in like that. Alright, so that's one long end of the field. Next is short end. Starting with this. And this thing's huge. Takes like a minute just to get to the other end. Fill that in. Fill that in. I'm gonna start here and then go all the way to here. Fill all that in. Cool. Then just gotta fill in this empty spot. Then this empty spot. It's actually kind of scary not making sure not to fill in anything on accident, like a stairwell or something. Although there's an undo button. Fill in this. And that. Alright. So got that. It's pretty dark, but we'll worry about lighting later. Right now we're just kind of getting the rough shape of the building in place. Alright. So I'll see you when I'm done filling the other two sides of the field, the other long end and the other short end. So I'll see you when I'm done that. Alright, I am back, and I'm gonna turn on the night vision. I finished the floor for all four corners, all four sides of the stadium. So yeah, next episode we're going to be building possibly to the ground floor, or to the ground. We're going to reach street level, but can't guarantee anything. I just going to kind of zoom around the perimeter of the stadium just to show you that all this is filled in, everything's Gucci. And yeah, we're nearing the end of this. I might do a redesign. I'm thinking of the corners of the bleachers, though that's going to be a different series. It's not going to be part of the stadium Let's Build. It's going to be like stadium redesign Let's Build. Right now I'm just leaving it as it is. I'm going to finish it as it is. Then I'm going to probably I'll show you what I'm talking about. The more I look at them, the more I dislike the angled corners of the bleachers. So I'm probably going to curve them off or make them into a rounded corner rather than what we have now. But what we have now is totally fine for this series. I'll just do a quick zoom out of what we've done so far. So it's looking like a stadium, and it'll be done before we know it. So be sure to check out the next episode when it comes out, and the previous episodes if you would like to follow along. And other than that, this has been Colonial Puppet. Have a nice day.